Humidity might be the most misunderstood topic in indoor gardening. Because the internet makes it sound terrifying. People buy humidifiers, pebble trays, misters, humidity meters. And suddenly, keeping a simple houseplant feels like operating a rainforest laboratory. But here's the truth, most indoor plants are not dying because your humidity is slightly wrong. In fact, some people accidentally damage their plants trying too hard to increase humidity. Today, we're separating myths from reality. By the end of this video, you'll understand what actually matters. Part 1, What humidity actually means. Let's simplify this first. Most people don't fully understand it biologically. Humidity is simply the amount of moisture in the air. Plants constantly release moisture through their leaves. Think of it like breathing slowly through the leaf surface. When surrounding air becomes extremely dry, plants lose moisture faster. But humidity interacts with temperature, airflow, lighting, and watering. That's why copying someone else's setup often fails. I once obsessed over humidity numbers. The plants barely changed, but my stress levels did. Plant care becomes unhealthy when observation gets replaced by obsession. Ask, how does my plant behave? Part 2, Why misting doesn't work. Misting is incredibly popular online. It looks relaxing and aesthetic. But biologically, a few seconds of misting only increases humidity around leaves briefly. Sometimes just for minutes. I once misted a Calathea constantly. The crispy edges kept returning. The problem wasn't temporary moisture. Misting made me feel proactive without solving the root issue. Excessive misting may even create fungal problems. Part 3, Plants that truly care. Nuance matters. Not all plants care about humidity equally. Snake plants, pothos, ZZ plants, and rubber plants adapt surprisingly well to normal apartments. Calatheas, marantas, and certain ferns react more strongly when air becomes very dry. I tried forcing sensitive plants in a dry winter apartment. They looked stressed. Nearby pothos looked relaxed. Choose plants naturally compatible with your environment. Good plant care isn't forcing survival. Part 4, Airflow matters. This is the biggest misunderstanding online. People chase moisture while ignoring airflow completely. Notice how plants outdoors recover faster after rain. That's partly because outdoor air moves constantly. Healthy airflow helps evaporation balance, fungal prevention, and temperature regulation. I grouped plants too tightly in a dark corner. The area became heavy. Tiny fungal spots appeared. The issue wasn't not enough humidity. It was poor environmental balance. Plants want breathable environments. Part 5, Window problems. Windows influence humidity too. They create intense microclimates depending on the season. Cold glass dries air. Intense sunlight increases transpiration. Two plants in the same room experience different conditions. I placed a tropical plant directly beside a cold window. The leaves slowly became damaged from cold-dry stress. Part 6, Humidity strategies. Do pebble trays work? They create slight local moisture increases. Not dramatic. Grouping plants works better. Plants naturally release moisture together, creating shared microclimates. Humidifiers can genuinely help in dry winters. But consistency matters more than extreme numbers. Part 7, Emotional obsession. Eventually, humidity obsession affected my relationship with plants. It created invisible pressure. The mindset that every leaf must look perfect creates anxiety. Plants are adaptable. You need sustainable routines too. Part 8, Warm dry air. Heating systems don't just warm air, they dry it aggressively. Warm dry air increases transpiration speed. Plants lose moisture faster through leaves. One winter, my apartment felt comfortable, but tropical plants developed crispy edges. The heater dried the environment. Part 9, Bathroom Sanctuaries. Bathrooms naturally create temporary humidity increases, softer airflow, and stable warmth. I moved a struggling fern into a bathroom with indirect light. Within weeks, the plant looked calmer and healthier. Part 10, Artificial Jungles. Chasing jungle aesthetics aggressively sometimes creates trapped airflow and stagnant humidity. I created a dense corner. It looked amazing online, but airflow dropped and leaves stayed wet constantly. A beautiful plant setup should still breathe. Design plant spaces that feel open, layered, and calm. Part 11, the most important lesson. Humidity is not really about numbers. It's about slow adaptation. A stable 40 to 50% apartment environment works better long-term than unstable humidity spikes every few days. Consistency builds resilience. Successful plant care is rarely about creating perfect nature artificially. What humidity myth confused you the most when you first started? Misting? Pebble trays? Comment below. Subscribe to the Urban Leaf for realistic advice. Plants simply need environments stable enough to feel at home.